Back in 2022, I made this video ranking all the worlds in Donkey Kong 64. Each one offers a unique design and character, with some flaws here and there, so let's spend some time with each one individually. Well folks, it's time to review a world that doesn't receive a ton of love. As difficult as it is to create a successful water level, there are plenty of highs and lows to discuss about the one and only Gloomy Galleon. For years, I have disliked this world. Well, straight up hate it, really. If skipping it was an option, you could bet your entire life savings that I would skip it. But, that being said, after replaying the entirety of this game and refreshing my memory, I have to say, I don't hate this world anymore. It is not perfect, far from it. I still don't like it, but I don't think it's as bad of a water level in comparison to Ocarina of Time, Star Fox 64, or Metroid Prime. There are aspects to this world that work, and in comparison to a few other worlds, I'm realizing maybe, just maybe, it doesn't deserve all the hate. Perhaps I treated you too harshly. But there's no going soft on Gloomy Galleon. It's still low on this tier list. So let's start picking apart this world and go over what works and what doesn't. If you've been watching the reviews on the other worlds, by now you might notice a pattern. I love when a world guides the player through each room and hallway. I don't mean it in a hand-holding way, but in a way that is slowly revealing a section at a time, allowing the player to make mental notes of any unique landmarks, collectibles, and upcoming challenges. Gloomy Galleon really only has 4 sections: the entrance off the hallway, this indoor section at the end of the hallway, and 2 outdoor water sections. One of them is smaller with the lighthouse in the center, and the other is much bigger. It's a pretty basic layout, with the caveat that there'll be more backtracking between the 2 water sections. So as the player starts their adventure, they'll see this little room off to the side of the entrance. After unlocking the door, it'll become immediately obvious that the water level is far too low to do anything here. Well, this might be for another time. When the water level is finally adjusted, Chunky has this cannon challenge that is a huge pain in the butt. I'm actually saving that for another video, so moving on. Continuing down the hallway, which will eventually split off into 3 paths. I love seeing more tiny details to help the player navigate through the world. The simple lighthouse sign goes a long way. It'd be really annoying to have to remember which side the lighthouse is on, especially during a stressful time crunch moment. Starting with the room at the end of the hall, we're seeing that this isn't just a water level, it's got pirates. Pirate ships, barrels, treasures, cannons. We'll be seeing sunken pirate ships, active pirate ships, Pirate K. Rool. At least it's more than just, alright kids, it's a water level, go play in the water. It's great to see more and more unique opportunities for Chunky's Primate Punch. I remember as a kid, these treasure chests weren't the most obvious to me, but the game sets them up in a way that kinda hints to the player that there's something to be done here. Also, it's a treasure chest. There has to be something good inside. Cranky Kong is easy to access, but isn't really needed at this time, as he's just requesting the Kongs to deliver 15 banana medals in an attempt to play Jetpack. More on that in another video. And while we're at it, Funky and Candy Kong aren't all that helpful besides a basic upgrade. This upper section is a little annoying to navigate. While the narrow wooden planks are very appropriate to the theme, it's so easy to fall off. Thankfully, you only need to be up here a few times to collect Tiny and Chunky's bananas and Tiny's blueprint. Access to the boss can be found in a handful of other places that are far less annoying to reach. That's about all there is to the indoor section of the world, so let's head out to the water. As you make your way towards the lighthouse, we're introduced to another new enemy. Koshas are real tough baddies to take down. Similar challenges to the Crowbots, but one swing from their spike club will result in losing 2 slices of the melon life. It's great to see new enemies being introduced in environments that correlate with the design. It can't all be Kremlings. The lighthouse section is a little easier to navigate. Smaller, sure, but it's also just a better layout. You'd have to try to get lost in this area. But I'd say there's a strong love-hate relationship with the lighthouse. The inside, while I love that we get to explore it, has frustrating physics. To this day, I still struggle to climb to the top. The act of climbing up isn't hard, but it has the same broken physics as the Pachinko challenge in Mario Sunshine. I mean, look at me struggle to land on these platforms. Obviously, there's no challenge in jumping from platform to platform. These physics are put together with duct tape and glue. Oy. It's worth the struggle though, because K. Rool's ship making an appearance has me immediately wanting to explore it. With Diddy's jetpack barrel being available, one will be eager to fly over to the pirate ship. With a Simeon slam switch awaiting Diddy Kong, a golden banana comes bursting out of the ship's cannon. I can't think of a better outcome to hitting this switch. A golden banana blasting out of a ship cannon is the correct decision here. Thankfully, that's not the only golden banana this pirate ship holds. From this footage, you can see the gears rotating in my head. It looks like this platform could be open from a ground pound. It took a minute to re-jog my memory until finally realizing Chunky is strong enough to ground pound open these doors. The inside of the pirate ship is a great time. Scooting past these active cannons can be devastating to your health bar if one isn't careful. The challenge itself is straightforward, just punch everything. After retrieving the golden banana is when things start to get fun. Inverted controls, tipsy camera, and a woozy Chunky. This is a fun play on seasickness, and it's a valid moment to have inverted controls. It's time to start focusing on the other, larger half of the water section of Gloomy Galleon. This is the part that makes it easy to start hating on the world. Even while still in the Lighthouse section, there's going to be an annoying amount of back and forth between the two sections. The DK Barrel Blast frees the pirate seal, which opens the door to a race on the other side of the world. Diddy Kong jetpacks to the top of the lighthouse to activate the mechanical fish on the other side of the world. More on that for another video. All the Kongs have a switch to open a different section of a sunken pirate ship, which is located on the other side of the world. There's a lot of that in Gloomy Galleon. In general, the best advice I could give players in completing the game is to take it one room at a time, not by Kong. But Gloomy Galleon makes it pretty difficult to make such a thing happen. All the back and forth among deep, hollow water. It's not the most compelling world. Completing it pretty much requires bouncing back and forth, and with some sections requiring raising or lowering the water level and needing to bounce back and forth even more. Yeah, it gets old fast. This section of the world is so problematic to me. It really doesn't need to be this large. The underwater section could have been cut in half, and the above water section is completely hollow. There's nothing to do here. Right now, I'm thinking a lot about Noki Bay from Mario Sunshine. You can have your deep sea moments, sure, but there's plenty to do above the water that makes the world more interesting and functional. While Noki Bay isn't a perfect world, you get the point I'm making here. Put more stuff right here! But I want to end this video on a higher note. This hidden treasure room is really cool to me. Tiny Kong has another classic shrinking opportunity inside the treasure chest. Inside contains these really mean-looking chomping clams. Each one is holding onto a pearl, which can be carefully collected and returned to the mermaid in exchange for a golden banana. But that's not all. Of course, the giant stack of coins can be climbed up by either Diddy or Lanky Kong, which ends in a bonus barrel of golden banana. The long-awaited 4-warp pad is finally accessible, but really only there for Donkey Kong to retrieve his blueprint. And saving the best for last, we finally have another reoccurring animal buddy, Enguard the swordfish. A shame we only get these buddies for a few rare moments, but Gloomy Galleon desperately needed it. Good call, Rare. To state the obvious, having a swordfish in the water level makes perfect sense. Not sure why Lanky Kong only has access to him, but better than nothing. To swiftly swim around the world, get a better grasp of what's underwater, and breaking down treasure chests containing collectibles is a great feature. Playing as this character holds one of the most playful, happy-going music, too. The deep sea always spooked me as a kid, so I was never interested in exploring unless as Enguard. No, seriously, the deep sea really spooked me. I was not eager to go diving in this dark, creepy sea. So younger me really appreciates this character to help lighten the mood. I think that's all there is to say about a world like Gloomy Galleon. There's so much back and forth going on in this world, I feel like I'm missing something. If I am, let me know in the comments. And, of course, let me know your thoughts on this world. I now know for a fact that not everyone hates Double G, so if that's you, I want to hear what you like about the world. And if you're a hater of Gloomy Galleon, tell me why below. Just so many highs and lows. Like raising and lowering the water. Okay, that's enough. See you all next time.